Hey everybody, welcome back to Rebootleggers. It's a comedy podcast where your two hosts reboot everything. I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
Frank, did you know that the first text message was sent 25 years ago today?
Wow, I actually didn't know that. That's cool.
That's kind of nuts. And you know what it said?
What do you think it was?
It said Happy Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it wait.
I guess it must have been a British person, or it was like a super nerdy American person, because the only Americans I know who say Happy Christmas instead of Merry Christmas are huge nerds.
Wait, so does 25 years of leap years make that Christmas Day, or?
Must have. Or no, I mean, I don't know. No,
so someone's just really jumping the gun.
No, it was sent on December 3rd, 25 years ago. It's just like, the spirit. People say Merry Christmas to each other before
Christmas. That's misleading, I think.
You've never been in like a you go shopping and then you're done and the cashier says, "Hey, Merry Christmas," and you say, "Hey, you too," but are you like, "It's not Christmas yet. It's 3 weeks before."
3rd?
It's 3 weeks before. You shut your mouth.
Yeah, I had to speak to their manager. It's 3 weeks before, by the way.
You're like, "I think you mean Happy Holidays."
Yeah, I had to speak to the manager and I told them I'm suing, and then I usually get a coupon out of it.
What's the coupon for?
I don't know, usually just like a couple bucks off my order.
Or like, it's like buy two, get one.
It's free for me to yell at them, and then I end up getting like $2 to $5.
Yeah. I mean, we have firmly entered the winter Christmas season, despite the fact that
it is at least December. The whole Black Friday get a tree thing.
Yeah, but
weird.
The weird thing is that winter does not actually begin for another 18 days, because that's how the calendar works, and I really feel like we should fix that, because
we're in deep fall.
Like summer, it's weird to me that the seasons start on, like, summer doesn't start until the longest day of the year, which means
is the middle,
right? Which then means the entire rest of summer is just days getting shorter. Mm-hmm. Even though summer vacation starts like a month before. And I really think that, we should write Congress and get this figured out.
And while we're at it, we should just go to the whole
daylight savings
10-day weeks, exactly 30 days a month.
Yeah, like
get rid of February.
Screw matching it up exactly to the rotation in the sun, because we have leap years already, and that's stupid. Just adjust all the seconds to be like a quarter second longer, or however long we need to, and then we're good. Like, we can all we could fix
a lot of things in the world, but I think today we're just gonna fix a movie.
Yeah, we're doing Home Alone today, and not necessarily because it's Christmas, but because it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be doing what we call
Christmas,
a sort of theme month,
and Home Alone, since we're on the subject, that is a movie that the problem could have been solved very quickly if cell phones were a thing.
If text messages existed, all it's is BRB fam airport.
Yeah,
and then like two dancing emoji.
And then when he wakes, his parents realize he's gone. They text him, they're like, "Hey, are you at home?" And he says, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh." And then they say, "Well, are you okay?" And he says, "Yeah, I bought some Stouffer's mac and cheese." And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll call the neighbors and send them round." Or in the second one, he can just like text them and be like, "Hey, I'm in New York," and they're like, "Ah."
Yeah, I'm in New York, and I'm not lost because I am holding a cell phone, so I will get back to the hotel.
I am holding a cell phone, and
I'm just gonna call an Uber, and you're gonna pay for it.
We watched Home Alone 2 a couple weeks ago because my niece had never seen it. And there's the scene that Donald Trump is in. I was like, "Oh, that's the one," because
it's not. It's like 10 seconds.
It's a good cameo as far as cameos go, because but so growing up, most of my family's movies were things that we had recorded from TV.
Oh yeah.
And so the TV versions of movies always had stuff cut out of them.
Yeah. And you gotta make time.
I never remembered Donald Trump being in that movie when people would talk about it. So I was like, "Oh, that just must have been a scene that got cut out of the versions we had." And then when we finally watched it, I was like, "Oh no, we definitely had that scene. I just had no idea who that person was." Like, I didn't,
man, because he kind of hunkers down and puts his hands on his knees to get eye level.
He's just like he's like
Macaulay Culkin, and he says, "I can buy and sell you, child."
He looks.
I will destroy you.
He looks right at him and says, "One day, I will own
I
everything.
have the bigly most money, and I will crush you."
Yeah, and I mean, I did think it was weird that they went with that cameo and not just like have him, tell him where the lobby is or whatever. But instead, they have him.
They went with the full 30 seconds. They went with the full 30 seconds of just angry ranting.
Well, in the last 15 is just like a cut of like full screen, just his face staring straight into the camera, shouting at you about how much money he has.
And they somehow dodged the R rating for the
copious amounts of F-bombs.
He uses more than the PG-13 allowance of F-bombs.
It was a hell of a departure from the John Hughes that we know and love from the other movies that he's made, like Home Alone 1 and Uncle Buck and 16 Candles.
Yeah.
Did he do 16 Candles?
Probably, I think so.
I think he did the Breakfast Club. He did all the Brad Pack ones, right?
Yeah.
Did not do Red Dawn, but that's Charlie Sheen, not Emilio. I was misremembering.
So, I think we're just gonna do the original franchise today.
Yeah, we'll just say Home Alone. Probably just Home Alone 1.
Probably just Home Alone 1. I feel like we're going to deep dive.
Yeah, and so
we have a couple alternate ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I want you to go first.
All right, so this is delightful, because I just found some movie support for this. So, you know that I love to twist the names, Scott.
I do.
So, the very first thing I thought of was Home Malone.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Kevin Malone from The Office in place of Macaulay Culkin, now a grown man. Now, here's a little bit of backup, and where maybe this film can link to the original. So, Kevin's parents discover mid-flight that he is missing.
Now, back up real quick. Is Kevin Malone his real name, or the character's name? From
no, that's the character.
Is his real name?
I want the Office character.
That's what I thought, but I would just because I know on The Office there's a lot of cast members whose real name is their
is their like actual first name.
Yeah, like I think Oscar's real name is Oscar. Pretty sure. I mean, I know Creed's real name is Creed Bratton from that one band.
So Kevin's parents get to Paris and they discover that he's not with them. So they fly back to the United States. And this is canonical, but the only flight they can get back is to Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm not kidding.
So then instead of
they're stuck in Scranton, Pennsylvania until they rent a car.
So then instead of his mom meeting John Candy and getting a ride in his polka van, she meets Michael Scott and or Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, who pawns off Kevin on her for Christmas.
Well, but wait, no, Kevin's
no, she says, I have no family.
Kevin's at home.
Kevin's at home.
That's because he got left home alone.
Because he's home alone.
And then, so what happens in the original movie, right, is his mom catches a flight to Chicago. Or no, that's where they're from. She catches a flight somewhere.
They try to get back to Chicago, but then have to rent a car, and then it's John Candy.
They don't rent a car. She gets a flight to the closest place she can, and then she can't get another flight, and then John Candy overhears it, and he's like, why don't you ride in my polka van with me? And she gets in a van with a bunch of polka dudes.
That's weird. So this time it's a van with a bunch of nice paper salesmen.
Yeah, are they on their way to like a paper convention?
Yeah, they're going to meet. They're going to have they're going to the Christmas episode.
The Christmas episode.
They always have the Christmas episode in The Office.
It's a crossover now.
It's a Yeah, this is just a crossover.
So we're gonna have to bring back The Office for one reunion episode for this to work. One,
and they'll all do it. They love each other.
Well, and here's the thing: that'll be a very easy sell for the network too. Now we will have to get the Office broadcast rights over to the NBCW, which might be hard with
as an illegitimate subdivision of NBC. That is as an illegitimate, unrecognized subdivision of the NBC. I think if we just do it, they're not going to stop us.
That's true. I think if we just do it, we ask for forgiveness, not permission, because we will make a lot of money. And because
they're gonna say like, you give us the money, and then we'll say we'll give you the money, but we won't give them all the money.
Right. And then the current climate of America unable to just accept things that are over, it will not be hard at all to get people to be so excited that the show that they watched for
I already watched the full one of The Office about once every 3 months.
Yeah, and I mean,
so having some new content to pad that will be really nice.
Yeah, and so okay, now I like also this twist. So in the original Home Alone, Kevin is the baby of his family, and he gets treated as such. His siblings kind of like resent him because he's just like the youngest child and he gets everything he wants and he doesn't have to like do any responsibilities or whatever. And the movie, so he gets left home alone, and suddenly he becomes incredibly self-sufficient, and everybody's very impressed with him.
Wily.
Very, very wily, this boy. But everybody becomes very, very impressed with him and his ability to fend for himself. So I like this idea that the reboot is an opposite, where you have this grown man. And now I know this isn't entirely true to Kevin Malone's character, because he is not very good at fending for himself. I mean, he gets by. He doesn't have like a nurse or anything.
Yeah.
But
So there's the classic episode where he makes like 12-hour chili, and he says it's the only thing in the world he's good at.
yeah, and I mean, Kevin originally was just like kind of a weird, quiet guy, and then as the show went on,
he got flanderized into
they were like
borderline.
Yeah, they were like, what if we make him like almost mentally challenged until like, he is technically mentally challenged, and like, so that's fine, but I think he's at least able to, you know, survive on his own. He doesn't have like a caretaker or anything. So I don't know, maybe we flip it so that now just by the sheer fact alone that he missed the flight that the rest of his family was on, he suddenly has no idea how to fend for himself.
Yeah. And so I think we can even keep, so the original had while not strictly being enough steps in a row to count, the original Kevin McAllister had like a lot of Rube Goldberg type things of like his schemes.
His traps weren't very Rube Goldberg-y as I rewatched it. It's mostly he was good at like puppeteering when he wanted to pretend there were a lot of people home. That was very Rube Goldberg-y. So now that we're about to touch on this, we got to have the criminals in the movie.
The Wet Bandits must return. Yeah.
Now, do we get the original Wet Bandits, Joe Pesci and Kevin Arnold?
Stern.
Kevin Arnold is his character in Wonder Years. What's his real name?
Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern, thank you. So do we get them?
I mean, I would like to.
I would also like to see them. I don't know that we could ever get Joe Pesci to come back.
I would like this to be, so, I mean, you know, The Office takes place in the early 2000s. I would like this to actually be 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like 60-year-old criminals.
So if we're going that route, is Kevin McAllister, did he grow up into Kevin Malone?
Okay, I have an idea. I think he didn't grow up into Kevin Malone, but what I think happened is that he grew up to be one of the best goddamn detectives this town has ever seen.
Okay,
so maybe partway through the movie, he's knocking on the door and he says, like, "My name is Detective Kevin."
Just
McAllister.
a nice little gag.
Have you seen these men? And it's the Wet Bandits.
And he's like on the trail because they traumatized the hell out of him.
Yeah. He's made his entire mission just to get back to them. So he says, like, "Have you seen these men?" And then this is early. I think this is early in the film. Kevin Malone shakes his head no, and then we get a pan over, and they're right there hiding in the bushes watching them.
Pretending to be a nativity scene.
Yeah. Oh, yes, dude, that's perfect. So then, because it kind of sets up, like, these are dangerous men, and then we see them, then they start bothering Kevin Malone.
Do we ever see Kevin McAllister again?
Probably not. Maybe at the end he arrests them or something.
Yeah, Kevin Malone he's home alone for Christmas and does not know what to do with himself.
Yeah. And I kind of want, I think I want this to be a little bit more farcical.
Mm-hmm. More farcical than the original,
I think Kevin Malone doesn't know that he's foiling the Wet Bandits. He's just kind of a bumbling fool.
So we're doing a bit of a Baby's Day Out again.
Yeah, or The Man Who Knew Nothing. That Bill Murray movie. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that movie. It sounds like it'd be good because it's Bill Murray.
It's very good. Bill Murray. Bill Murray is a guy who really, really likes spy novels and like mysteries. So he signs up for a theme parks like play acting,
LARPing.
like be a spy for a day event. Yeah, spy lark. What he doesn't know is that he goes to the appointment in the wrong place, meets an actual secret agent, and now is involved in their plot. Nice. It's very good.
Okay, so did you know Bill Murray has like 9 siblings and all of them are actors?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Is Angela Lansbury one of them?
No, that's not even the correct name.
Dude.
Really, really pleased with that joke, aren't you?
I liked it a lot.
Just very pleased with Angela Lansbury.
I mean, come on. Okay, so I want to do kind of a triple threat, right? Where we've developed Home Alone. I do have a second idea.
Okay.
So, but you have an idea, and then we'll choose which of the three we want to kind of
Well,
officialize.
my idea kind of ended up merging into yours, where my idea was kind of a reverse Home Alone, where he, instead of being a child who grows up very quickly, he instead is an adult who suddenly becomes entirely incapable of handling himself.
I like that we can mesh that. So my second idea, which is a genre shift, we choose which one we're going to move forward, I think, going on. But so we throw out the farce elements, we keep the thriller elements, and we have Home Stallone.
Oh boy, oh boy,
and
oh
it's
boy.
like and it's like gritty gunshot explosion, like castle doctrine defense in the heart of Texas.
We could also, oh man, do you remember? Oh man, I just had two other. Okay, so that one's really, Home Stallone is cool. What if Home Alone is set in the universe of The Purge, and Home Alone takes place on Purge night?
Okay, so it's this genius child defending his entire household.
Yeah, because normally his family leaves town during the Purge.
Oh,
and he gets left
but they
home alone.
forgot him. So I got the second you said Purge, I started trying to think of name twists that we can do, and I really want to nail it.
Home Alone : The Purge.
Yeah, we can just do that.
Or I mean, what's another word for purge? Cleanse.
Home
Crime Day.
Crime Day.
It's time for crime. Home Alone.
What's the Purge Alone?
What's the tagline? Let me look up the original Home Alone poster. Do we got like a good tagline?
Let's see.
Here we go. Hang on, that text is too small. I need a bigger image, please. It says, "But don't worry, he cooks, he cleans, he kicks some butt." Oh, the 90s/80s were a very good time.
Yeah. When adjusted for inflation, Home Alone 1 is the highest grossest Christmas movie of all time in North America.
So gross. The Home Alone 2 tagline is, "He's up past his bedtime in the city that never sleeps." And that does sound like a horror tagline.
That is really good. So I think it's like,
man, poor Macaulay
these
Culkin.
bandits aren't wet anymore.
Oh, these are some dry bandits.
These are some dry powder keg bandits.
Home Alone 3 was not good. Okay, yeah, you could...
So here's the thing. I like the idea of like the home defense purge Home Alone, but I also like the idea of this, like in the Purge universe, the man who has to defend his homestead is like adult Sylvester Stallone man.
Oh.
Like we keep the kind of byline of the movie, but make it like an adult action movie.
So this is now Sylvester Stallone playing an adult Kevin McAllister who thrives on the purge.
I think he only feels alive. He realized as a child that he only feels truly alive when he's threatening the lives of others.
Well, I was going to say it's more of a PTSD thing, and he's never really learned how to deal with it, and so he only knows...
Every knock on the door is the wet bandits coming for him.
Well, and he only knows who he is when he's defending his home from intruders.
He desires that black and white us versus them.
So we would show like maybe a past montage or
flashbacks that are just footage of the original film.
Well, we definitely show that, but I'm saying we would show like the reason he moved to Purge Town is because of that PTSD, where literally every knock on the door he thought it was the wet bandits coming for him, and so then
at least here he knows where he stands.
And so he moved somewhere where every knock on the door is someone trying to get in and kill him.
Oh my god, that's good.
And steal his things.
And so we even have like I think he chooses to live alone, right? But he acts like there's riches in his house or something, so people attack him.
Maybe he does have a family. He just always chooses to stay home for the purge.
Oh, because we get that beautiful like, honey, please, won't you come with us this year? And he's like, no.
Or maybe, what about this, Frank? What if he moves? So he moves his family away. This is like the 8th time they've moved because he's really trying to...
But he just keeps killing people.
It's not even that he keeps killing... Maybe he does keep killing people. But he's just really trying to, like, get better, and he just can't make it work. And so he doesn't know it's Purge Town. And so he does genuinely get left home alone, and then he's like, oh my god, I love this.
Yeah. So they're going to visit his mother's, and he's like, oh, honey, your mother, I can't. I'll just stay home for the weekend.
I think he misses his flight. Like, he gets stuck in a long meeting after work because he has, like, a weird breakdown.
And everyone is talking about like tonight, like quote unquote, like as if it's something that's going on.
And he's like, what are you talking about? What's going on?
And he's like, he's like, I'm leaving. It's like, oh, Johnson, it's pretty early. It's like, I gotta get back home before it all starts. And then he like runs.
He's like, what are you guys talking about? And they're all like, And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then one guy pulls out his Richard Nixon mask and he goes, yeah, Point Break.
Love that movie. And the guy's like, what? Okay, whatever. I don't think, is it a Nixon mask in that movie? I thought it was Reagan.
I don't know.
And JFK.
It's old presidents, but I don't know if Nixon's there.
One of them's Reagan, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. I actually think I'm liking this more than I think I liked playing with Home Alone, but I think I want this to be the movie.
Yeah, I think I want this to be the movie too. I like it being set in the Purge-verse. So
plus, I'm pretty sure they'll just say yes to any sequel. Aren't they still making them or something?
I think there's at least 4 of them.
Yeah.
Home Alone 3 was... And what's weird about them is they went the Karate Kid route, where there's 4 of them, and then the 4th one is a girl Home Alone. Man, so that made me think of this. So when I was a kid, I always thought the main character of a movie was just the name of the movie, and so for a long time, I called him Home Alone.
That's fantastic.
I was like, there's Home Alone. Oh, French Stewart is in Home Alone 4, so you know it's good.
I mean, so... Oh, boy.
Yes?
So...
Did you ever see the original TV movie I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, starring a young Seventh Heaven Simon? No, wait, I think it's starring a Zack and Cody. Yeah, it's starring Zack and Cody, but
like as babies?
They're not. They're like Big Daddy age.
I love that you use Big Daddy as the reference point instead of a number. Big fan.
I don't know what age that is. They're maybe like 8, 9.
Oh,
you've seen Big Daddy, right?
Yeah.
And they are the child in that. Actually, it might be only one of the Zack and Codys.
First of all, what is happening on this movie poster?
So in this movie, apparently there's 2 in the
we have a 50% opaque Santa Claus being bound as though in chains by multiple Christmas wreaths.
And Zack and Cody,
a small child watches, mouth agape.
Zack and Cody just staring at him as I don't know what I can't tell if Santa's having a good time or if he's dying.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not he likes this.
This is all 100% tangential and unrelated to the real movie we're making, but I just saw a poster because it was considered related to Home Alone. This is a movie. So the boy sees his father dressed as Santa kissing his mother, and so then for the entire next year, he plots his revenge on Santa, and so he does create like house traps to trap Santa and stuff because he's really mad at Santa for kissing his mom.
Boy. So, all right, Home Stallone.
Stallone.
So, he moves from house to house because he cannot stop just killing people that enter his home. It's bad.
Yeah, so that's a while. So that's why he keeps moving neighborhoods, like moving cities.
Yeah, the HOAs keep asking him to leave.
And so at the beginning of the movie, we make it clear, like, there's some tension in his marriage. His wife is like, I can't keep doing this. This is the last time. If this happens again, I'm leaving you.
Like we sold all the guns, but then you just started strangling them. Like, I can't.
I feel like his wife, he should have to save his wife then. Maybe not. I kind of like the idea that they're just gone. And maybe they still know nothing about the purge. So then when his wife and kids get back, they're just like, hey, how'd it go? And he's like, great.
Yeah, and he's like, it was really cool.
They have no idea. And then
you should make your trip with your mother, a yearly thing.
And then in Home Stallone 2, they don't go away, and he's trying to get them to leave, but they don't. So then he does have to defend them.
Yeah,
but that'll be another episode. Okay, so Home Stallone. What kind of house traps are we thinking of? So let's go through the original movies. You've got micro machines on the floor, like they're the equivalent of marbles. You're gonna fall down. You've got Christmas ornaments underneath the window so that their bare feet will crunch on them, and you know their feet are bare from the previous trap where you put glue all over the stairs that made them have to take off their shoes and socks. I think it was tar.
And socks. Yeah. So they get the shoes off, and then they step down again, and they go, oh, the socks.
And then he takes the socks off, and then he does step on a nail, and then he goes to the window.
And then it's just a waiting game from there because of tetanus.
Right. And then
it's the long con.
So then so those are all the Marv traps getting into the house. Then you have he puts something very hot on the doorknob to make it hot, and I don't know what that hot thing is.
Yeah, I mean, we can say he rigs up like a car battery.
I've never seen the tool that he uses to heat that up. It's just this weird like hot hanger.
Yeah.
So he makes the doorknob hot so that Harry's thing gets burned.
And then he has the ice steps.
And the ice steps. He also somehow lights Harry's head on fire.
I think that is through clever application of gasoline.
He does it twice too.
And then he has now here's the problem is maybe I'm getting mixed up with the Three Ninjas. He has the coffee filters full of pepper bombs.
That is not Home Alone.
That is not Home Alone, that's Three Ninjas. Okay.
Right. Okay.
It's very effective though. Maybe he uses those.
Maybe he does. Oh yeah, he's got a blowtorch for some reason set up in his house.
Oh, so Kevin's dad likes to flambe.
Yeah, Harry goes in the back door after his hand gets burned, and then the blowtorch lights his head up. Okay, so then they get inside, micro machines on the floor, then they run upstairs, Kevin hits them with paint buckets, then they get up into the attic, and there are no more traps.
Why would any thieves enter the attic of a home?
Well, they're chasing the boy.
Oh, right.
And he puts a tarantula on Marv's face.
Yeah, I like spiders. That's the line, right?
Marv hates spiders.
No, that's what Kevin says.
Yeah, Kevin says, I like spiders.
I like spiders. And then it's crawling on him.
And then,
Here's the thing, though. And this is all movies. You can smush those.
Oh, you can smush them, but I cannot. Here's the thing. I hate spiders. I don't mind smushing spiders because you can't feel it, but oh my god, I would be so grossed out if I had to smush a tarantula.
I mean, because it's your whole hand. Like, you gotta...
Oh, I wouldn't. I would use my shoe for sure, but even then,
like
you could
furry
feel
water
it.
balloon
You
that
would
you have to
feel it, and it would be
press.
so disturbing.
I don't. We're done talking. Okay, there's no spiders in Home Stallone.
No, there's no spiders in Home Stallone, but here
I just have like a full body shiver at the thought of smushing a tarantula.
there is something in Home Stallone, a huge piece that we have left out, Frank.
The chain gun?
No. I mean, the chain gun's going to be in it, but that's not what I'm talking about. In the original Home Alone 1 and 2, an important part of those movies is the scruffy old people who first Kevin is afraid of and then he becomes friends with. In Home Alone 1, you have the man who shovels the sidewalks. In Home Alone 2, you have the woman who the pigeons poop on.
So in Home Stallone, there's an old man that Home Stallone thinks can't help him, but then it turns out he's a Vietnam vet.
With his own PTSD issues.
Maybe even Korean War. Like, how old are we going?
Korean War, he would have been, what, like 8? If we're saying he's youngest as possible, he would have been like 18 in the 50s, which would mean he's like 60-some now, so that would work. No, he's like 70, 80 almost.
something. I want this guy, I want him to be judge a book by its cover, like, not capable of combat, but he was special forces and knows like how to rig good traps.
So Korea, he could still technically be alive. He would just be very, very, very old.
Because I want like there's one guy who's like gonna get him or whatever, and then just tiger pit with punji sticks, and the old dude like gives him a salute.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like just at the very end.
That's pretty good.
And then he has like his service medal too, and he says like "Sic Semper Fidelis."
Yeah.
Just straight to the camera.
Are you trying to do like a Rambo reference here?
A little bit.
Okay.
A kind of smokescreened one.
Does Home Stallone wear a red headband?
No. I think at some point he gets like a cut or something and is forced to like tie a red piece of clothing around his head.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like a bandage. He's like, oh, this is the only thing I've got, and like ties it on.
Yeah, he gets cut.
And then there's a thing where somebody like there's like a bunch of ash gets blown in his face and it makes like the face paint.
Yeah.
So that Rambo wear. And then his sleeves get torn off.
So I think here's what we do with the traps. They're all like deadly because in Home Alone 1, they would be very deadly.
I don't want this to be like, Saw murder porn, but like the traps are deadly.
Well, and here's how I think we can avoid it being Saw murder, but also like, so the thing about Home Alone 1 is all those traps would absolutely kill those men. Like,
they would be dead. Ice stairs just by themselves kill like healthy men, and they're not even healthy.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking maybe Home Stallone's traps are what they actually kill them, but I do think they're all still made out of toys because he has children and he doesn't actually.
Yeah, he has to improvise. He didn't even know it was Purge Town.
So he does have micro machines on the floor, but instead of them falling.
Are we trying to bring back? Are we trying to revitalize the Micro Machines franchises?
I mean, I'm just waiting to get that sponsorship, but I think
It could be GoBots too.
the GoBots aren't small enough. Micro Machine, you got to be like marble sized.
I mean, maybe they have big. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And so the Micro Machines will, instead of making them fall on the ground, they do make them fall into like acid and stuff.
Oh, okay. So, and he's also doing like home construction. Like he's rigging I-beams to like swing.
He's definitely like cutting holes in the floor full of punji sticks.
He fills the banister. He hollows out the banister and he just fills it with bees.
All the way. With
And
bees.
then when the guy's running up behind him, he just chops on the banister, and then all the bees are angry and they come out at him.
Yes. Okay. Banister of bees.
Because it's what's that buzzing? And he just uses his
That
hand.
is the thing they always
chops.
do. That is the thing they always do. They go, "What's that sound?" And then it's like
Yeah.
a tool chest.
he just karate chops the banister and keeps running, and then all the bees come out.
It's like a tube of bees. He does karate chop it for sure.
Yeah, he does karate chop it most definitely.
Okay.
And then there's like the one stair where there's like it's a stairwell, but the one stair that he hops over, the guy steps on it and then just gets a big boxing glove in the nuts.
Sure.
Except instead of being funny, it pushes him down the stairwell
Onto
and he die
onto a floor of
I guess we need to
blades.
talk about people do die, and so it's not just the two wet bandits, it's also like their crew.
Yeah, the wet
Ocean's 11
bandits
of
have
wet
recruited
banditry.
an entire crew of
Yeah, like
wet
the
bandits.
moist criminal syndicate.
The wet syndicate. Well, I guess so if we're saying that this is a grown-up McAllister, they would be the sticky bandits at this point. Because they're the sticky bandits in Home Alone 2.
Because they're the sticky
Did they
bandits.
come up with are they now something new? Are they the slippery bandits? Are they
Ooh, I don't want that.
you don't like slippery. Okay. What about the
Like you got wet and sticky.
rough bandits? The hard bandits.
The
Jelly bandits.
I think maybe they just
The jiggly
I think we can
bandits.
use sticky.
So they didn't change their name after Sticky.
I think that they're the sticky bandits, but then their underlings are still moist, like a ranking system. Like you go moist as a trainee,
then you become
and then you're wet,
and
then
you
you're
become
sticky.
sticky at the top.
Yeah.
Then you start out moist, then you become wet, then you get sticky.
Then you
just
get
to
sticky.
clarify the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Perfect. So there's a whole gang of moist men,
Moistman.
and then they send in the wets, and
Yeah,
then the
and then
stickies show up at the very end. But the stickies
wets
are very
who,
old.
like, so the moist men just get taken down as a show of Kevin Stallone's skill.
I think what happens is his name's still Kevin McAllister, right?
Yeah,
But we're calling him Kevin Stallone.
we're calling him Kevin Stallone.
I
just to
do
keep
think
it
what
straight.
happens, so the stickies never come to his house. He, after defeating all the moists and then all the wets, goes to the stickies base and he confronts old Harry and
And he
old
purges
Marv,
them.
and he purges the hell out of them.
Yeah. So and I think the moist men, they just get utterly destroyed, like without Kevin Stallone like losing any real resources, because as a show of skill, then the stickies come and it gets into more back and forth, but he
The
still
wets
overcomes.
come. The wets come.
The wets come. The wets come. The wets come, and it's more of a back and forth. Then it's time for the stickies.
Then
right?
he goes to the stickies. He just
He fills like his son's backpack with like random shit from like the toy box.
yes, and he
But
does
it's all
a-
he's doing it like and this and that.
Yes. He does it like a Bruce Lee, like a kung fu. Like he's just mowing through henchmen at the to get to the stickies. Like
He's using a Stretch Armstrong as nunchucks.
yes, of course he is. And
Those are back. Do you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm just
Not only are they back, they have a TV show.
oh, I forgot. I did.
It's
see
like
that
one of
a
those
TV
bad
show
CGI
exists.
TV shows.
Yeah, it's starring Scott Menville.
Yeah.
That's Robin from Teen Titans.
Oh man, that's
So
something.
there are a lot of good merchandising opportunities to bring toys back and really corner
Yeah.
that nostalgia market, because here's the thing that this movie has, Frank, and it has everything, but here's the two big things. It's got dark and gritty, which too many people like now, and it's got hey, remember that thing from your childhood that ended and you can't let
Dude,
go of? Here it
it's
is
got
again.
90s, right?
90s, dark and
As a
gritty,
theme.
nostalgia. This is a moneymaker.
Alright, so we got Stretch Armstrong nunchucks. We got
Micro Machines.
Micro Machines as kind of what are those called?
Micro Machines.
Like when you scatter them on the ground. And
You're thinking of Caltrops, but Micro Machines...
I'm thinking of Caltrops.
The thing with Micro Machines is they are like putting marbles on the ground because they do make you slide and roll.
Okay, so they are like marbles. So then for Caltrops, we have 2x1 Lego bricks.
Yes, we have Lego bricks because originally...
AKA the Destroyer.
Yes. Oof. You get those like spiky Lego bricks.
Mm-hmm. So then, I mean, we
do take it farther than just like, ow, I stepped on this hurts. We show full Legos piercing the skin, blood everywhere.
Yeah, like square.
Ooh, boy.
This is going to be like a...
it's going to be R for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be like those super... like hard to watch foot fungus commercials where they like lift up the toenail.
Oh, I hate that so much.
I hate those commercials so much, dude. Oh. So then we got this dude throws gack in someone's face.
Oh, he definitely gacks
Nickelodeon
them.
brand gack TM.
Oh, he's got his Talk Boy. Do you remember the Talk Boy from Home Alone 2?
Fuck yes, dude.
But now the Talk Boy, instead of being a cassette, it's like an MP3.
Yeah, it's just like
and everyone's like, so he's just taking a voice memo on his smartphone.
He just like records the voice memo and then like slides it down the hallway and it's like, hey, over here. And then the guy turns around and he just blows his brains out.
Yes, it's very good. He's got a lot of Talk Boys. Maybe it's called the Talk Person.
The Talk Person.
Because they did make...
He's not a boy anymore.
Well, they also made Talk Boys and then they made Talk Girls, which are just Talk Boys but pink. And so now it's just the Talk Person and everyone can enjoy them because, you know, people are people.
Like, I'm just trying to think of like, what did I do what did I play with?
I played with trains. So I'm trying to think of things that are in that movie or would have been 90s. So in the 90s... See, I remember a lot of 2000s. In the 90s, I did have some Transformers in the 90s. Beast Wars.
Oh, Beast Wars.
Beast Wars is my jam.
Action figures, we already kind of like... I don't really know what else, like where we can go with those.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like a Legos and Transformers dude. That was
maybe
all
he wears
I did.
moon shoes at some point.
He might have moon shoes. Maybe he's got those pumps, good pumps.
Yeah.
Just what other nostalgia can we hit?
Those
up
like
on?
weird
Pogs. He's got Pogs for sure. Do you remember Pogs?
Yeah. What does he use them for? He flicks them into people.
He makes them into ninja throwing stars for sure.
Like Bullseye and Daredevil. He just like
he does slam them with the slammer. He like slams a pile of Pogs,
and then it goes like 20 miles an hour just straight into someone's windpipe.
He slams the pile of Pogs and they somehow fly into everyone.
Yeah. Did you ever have? So this was a fad for like I think it was late 90s like / early 2000s, and it was a fad for like 5 years. Of like these weird safety skateboards that had a front. They had like a front thing to hold on to, almost like a Razor scooter, but it was a skateboard with 4 wheels.
Oh, like a real skateboard.
Yeah, it was really. We had one that was like I don't know what. I don't know who thought this was a good idea.
Now, Frank, do you remember Tech Deck skateboards?
I do.
Now those were 2000s, but
he has like one on each of his palms and one on his feet, and he's just
Frank.
like. And he's like gliding down like surfaces.
I don't think a Tech Deck would. Well, I was gonna say we replaced the Micro Machines with Tech Decks. Just Tech Decks everywhere.
Oh, that's really really good. Oh my god, dude, Heelys.
Oh, Heelys for days.
This dude. Other people are walking like chumps, and he is skating,
gliding
like
around, and that's how he like sneaks up on them so silently and stuff.
Yeah, he's just rolling.
When I was in high school,
utterly silent.
I worked in the file room for this loan management company, and one of my friends worked there, and he had Heelys, and he would Heely into the file room to hand me a file, but when he Heelied in, and the file room's floors were like linoleum, so he was always very, very quiet, and he would appear behind me and say, "Hey, I need you to file this," and I'd go, "God damn it, Eli!"
I'm pretty sure all schools did, but my school obviously banned Heelys very shortly.
Oh, my school did not. Maybe they did. I don't know.
It wasn't due to irresponsibility. It was due to they would leave streaks on the floors.
Oh, yes. My school had like that hard carpet that was still carpet, but you could like roll on.
Oh, yeah, we had the linoleum.
Fancy. All right, well,
Sort of.
I think we've got a good movie here.
Yeah, I think we have a really good base. I don't want to get too much into like specific types of murder, but I do want to get
that's for the eggheads and the writers'
toys
room.
Back.
Yes, we get all the toys, all the merchandise.
He obviously defeats the wet bandits, and then his family comes home, and he literally just finished like wiping away the last piece, like of the blood on him.
What if it? And so does he kill the sticky? We want to have a sequel, right? So does he kill the sticky bandits at the end, or does he not kill? Like maybe the end credits scene is. You see Marv, so we see a hand taping himself up, and then it pans up to a very old Harry and Marv, and they're like, look who it is.
I think that, so here's the other option, which is that he finally corners them, and he's like, you're gonna die. And then the end of the Purge bell goes off throughout the town.
Oh, maybe. I kind of like that we don't see the sticky bandits.
Now it's illegal to commit murder again.
I kind of like that we don't see the sticky bandits until the next movie.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to. I
can get on board with that.
Maybe he kills Harry and then Marv comes in the second movie.
It's revenge.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
like, you
good.
killed the person I love the most. Because, yeah, it turns out that I was...
Harry and Marv are in love for sure. Wait, what?
And then he goes, I'm going to kill the people you love the most now. So I stopped all the trains because I'm also the train master on the town.
I'm the train master, and I control all of the water supplies. And also, I own all the paintball facilities.
No, I like a lot more that instead of being like really wide spanning, those are just his two things. I am the train master, and I control the water supply.
He doesn't like own the whole town. It's just he owns those two very specific and yet extensive things.
Like, no, you'll still have power and you'll still have heat, like, but I control the water.
It's just water and trains.
Yeah. If you want to get on a bus, I can't stop you. But do not take the train.
I also own the paintball stadium downtown if you ever want to come down with the kids.
And that's set up as a Chekhov's gun and then never used.
Yeah.
It's much too far away.
Do you think he like meets Marv pre-Purge and he's like a perfectly regular like likable fella because they're in Purge Town where everybody's nice except on Purge Day?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
All right. Well, I think we should. That'll do it for us. I think we should leave it there. Send this up the mail tubes. Get them. I think this is gonna get us back up there. I think this is gonna be the one. Yeah. Thank you everybody so much for listening. We really appreciate all of you. We hope you had a good time. We certainly did. If you like the show, please take just a moment and give us a rating and review on iTunes. It really helps us out. And tell a friend if you think that they might also like the show. Until next time, I'm Scott Owen.
I'm Frank Serra.
Frank, what's our password for next week?
Our password for next week is keep the change.
Keep the change. Is that a new Rebootlegger slogan, or is that a Home Alone reference?
No, I cut out the "you filthy animal" part.
Oh,
I wanted you to say it.
I forgot about that.
I didn't clue you in. I'm sorry.